right, so let's solve for x. That's our goal here. We're going to solve this equation for x. How do we solve for x? Our goal is to what? We want to get that x by itself, right? So we have to do some simplifying first. Whenever you have an equation like this, you gotta go through the process. The first thing we want to do is simplify both sides and condense them down as much as we can. Okay, we want to condense them down as much as we can. So let's look over here. We have 4x and 6x, which is going to give me 10x. Then, actually, I want to write that a little bit better because I want it to look like the variable. Then a negative 10 and a positive 14 will give me a positive 4 is equal to, find your like terms, 5x, negative 3x. So 5 minus 3 is going to give me 2x. Then I have a positive 6 and a negative 2. And if you don't have different colors, just draw shapes, different type of lines underneath them, okay? So 6 minus 2 is going to give me a positive 4. Now I have 2x and 10x. And what I want to do is get all the numbers on one side and all the letters on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and just subtract 4 from both sides first. That's going to give me 10x is equal to 2x, right, plus 0, because I want y'all to see something, what's about to happen. Now I need to move this 2, so minus 2, that'll give me 8x is equal to 0. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 8, and x is equal to 0. Some people will say, no, there's no answer, but there is. What's going to happen is that this number 0 can be substituted back in for the answer. Sometimes the answer is going to be 0. So I want you to get used to understanding that x equals 0 is a solution. It can be the answer to the problem, okay? Don't get tripped up when you see, oh, all the numbers went away. No, there's still a number there. It just happens to be a 0, okay? So that's how we want to solve that. You simplify by combining like terms on both sides. Then you want to begin moving all your numbers to one side. Then you want to move all your letters to one side. So you're still doing your addition and subtraction first, and then you're doing your multiplication and division last. It's just that it took 2 steps. Let's solve one more like that when you have variables and constants on both. I want to take this time to invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel for a brief intermission. Why wouldn't you? I have bloopers. All right, so let's solve another one where we have variables on both sides of the equation and numbers on both sides of the equation. What you want to do is still going to be, you want to simplify both sides, and then we'll rearrange and get the numbers on one side and get the letters on the other side. So first thing we want to do is go ahead and just condense this as much as possible. 8x minus 5x is going to give me 3x's over here. And then I have a negative 3 and a positive 9. Those are like terms, so that's going to give me a positive 6 is equal to x plus x, right? So that's going to give me 2x on this side, and then I have a 3 and a negative 7, which is going to give me a negative 4. Okay, so I simplified it a little bit. Now I'm at the point where I need to get all my x's on one side and all my numbers on the other side. We're going to rearrange this by doing addition and subtraction. Same thing that we learned. You can't really see that, can you? Well, subtraction. We want to get this 2 from this side and put it on the other side. The only way you can do that mathematically, the only way you can remove something from a side is by making a 0 pair or dividing or multiplying. That's the only way that you're going to make something, poof, disappear, right? So I want to move all my x's over here. So I'm going to create a 0 pair. Since this is a positive 2, I'm going to add a negative 2 on that side. What you do to one side, you do to the other. And I can only subtract 2x from 2x. It's like I'm combining like terms. I'm putting all my terms that match on the same side. So here, that's going to be 0. 3 minus 2 is going to leave me with 1x plus 6 is equal to negative 4. Now I want to get that constant over there. So I'm going to subtract 4. Excuse me, not 4. Look at me messing up. See, we all make mistakes. I'm going to subtract 6 on both sides, and then that's going to give me a 0 pair. X is going to be equal to a negative 10. What you have to do is practice, get a routine down, get a set number of steps. If I have all these numbers and stuff going on, you're like, let me condense it. Let me get it as small as possible. Let me put all my numbers together. Let me put all my letters together. Then I'm going to move everything to one side. But you can't, sometimes people just say, let me just put the 8 over here, or let me just put the 2 over here. You can't do that. You have to mathematically move it, which means I'm going to subtract it from this side. I'm going to eliminate it by subtracting and taking it away. And remember, it's a balance beam. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. If not, you are going to fly off of the teeter-totter, off of the seesaw. And we only can subtract from like terms. You can't subtract 2 from 6 because it's not x's. You're taking away apples from apples and oranges from oranges. Okay? So that is also another step that we have to look at when we are solving equations with variables on both sides.